Sonia Citron. That's it. That is the tweet. That is the name of this game. It's just so hard. It's just so many talented rookies when you think about it in this current 2025 WNBA season to choose from when it comes to being the rookie of the year. Of course, Paige Beckers, I got to put her name in the hat for being rookie of the year. Sonia Citron, definitely, she deserves. I would say Sonia Citron deserves to have two names put in the hat. Kiki Era Finn. It ain't gonna be Haley Van Lith. It ain't gonna be Maddie Westbeld. The jokes on my Chicago Sky. But those three women come to mind when I think about who is really in the running, right? Who's really out there competing night after night to be, the 2025 WNBA's Rookie of the Year. And Sonia Citron is just that girl. And again, I hate to always, y'all probably tired of me saying, Geneva, just let it go. I gotta just insert the Chicago Sky, whoop de whoop whoop whoop, in any other, game. But I just can't help but think that we could have had Sonia Citron. We could have had her, or even Tahina Pow Pow, maybe, right? But because she was third overall pick. But Jeff Pagliacca, when you have a general manager who is just out of his element, in my opinion, as a leader and general manager for this team, you tend to make irrational, dumb, brash decisions. Okay, and Jeff Pagliacca ain't beating allegations. Man, just imagine if Sonia Citron was with our Chicago Sky instead of Haley Van Lith, who gives us nothing. The girl is 5 foot nothing, and so she gives us nothing. Then Maddie Westbeld, she's 6'3", but she still can't cook it up like Sonia Citron. In tonight's game, I saw the Indiana Fever lose by 4 points. I'll give it to them by 4 points from the Washington Mystics. Guess who was the leading scorer of the Washington Mystics and the Chicago? I'm sorry, not the Chicago Sky, the Indiana Fever in tonight's game. It was Sonia Citron. She put up 21 points. She plays with just like this air of confidence. It's like she's not intimidated. It don't matter if you Sophie Cunningham, she gonna put the three in your face. It don't matter if you Aaliyah Boston, she gonna put the three in your face. Kelsey Mitchell, she gonna put the three in your face. I ain't gonna lie, Odyssey Sims is kind of like staying on her. Okay, because Odyssey Sims, let me see real quick. I got the individual player statistics. Okay, so she did a lot better than her first game, okay? When Odyssey Sims played in her debut game for the Indiana Fever, she didn't put up no points. In today's game, she was playing both offensively and defensively, okay? But overall, I just was just wowed and amazed at Sonia Citron. I really wish we could have her for my Chicago Sky. But again, I really love Paige Beckers, but at this point, in my eyes, it's Paige Beckers versus Sonia Citron for Rookie of the Year. Now, the edge that Sonia Citron has over Paige Beckers, being that obviously, of course, she has a competent coach. Okay, shout out to Sydney Johnson. I'm going to talk a little bit more about him briefly in a second. But Sonia Citron actually has played more games, right? It's no secret that Paige Beckers has been out, for quite some games. Not a lot, but it's noticeable, okay? When she was for this current season of the Dallas Wings, we see Paige Beckers go out due to concussion protocol. She got a back injury. I think she had a lower leg injury. So she's been missing games. Now, Sonia Citron, for the most part, she's been healthier and a lot stronger than Paige. So again, I believe that gives her more edge. And I believe at this point she's actually averaging more points per game than Paige Beckers. But again, I love them both. And it's just sickens me that we could have had Sonia Citron on our side, and we desperately need somebody like her on our team. But no, her head coach of the Washington Mystics, guys, is none other than Sydney Johnson. Did you guys know? Did you know that he used to be an assistant coach for the Chicago Sky? I was like, where did this man come from? It was like, yeah, he used to be a part of the coaching staff for the Chicago Sky. I was like, was he there last season? Because I'm like, him as a head coach, were they just not listening to him? This man is like a genius. I think the Washington Mystics right now are maybe ranked, number 9? I don't believe they're just quite in playoff contention. Again, only the top 8 teams of the 13 teams in the WNBA will actually be able to go and play and participate in the playoffs. But the Washington Mystics, they have greatly improved this current season than how they were last season, okay? With the new coach being him, Sydney Johnson. Okay, so again, shout out to him. But I just want to say this. The Chicago Sky, along with the other teams, right, need to study this game. This game was very interesting because we see the Washington Mystics, they struggled in the first quarter. And after that, they quickly made adjustments. Sydney Johnson made adjustments. The players themselves, he didn't even have to direct them. Even though he still did, okay? Obviously, he's the head coach. He has to instruct them and guide them to the dub. But in this game, we see them making the proper adjustments and correcting themselves to stay on the Indiana Fever and accelerate The freaking Chicago Sky needs to study this game because, again, the Washington Mystics was down. Okay, they finished the first quarter down 7 points. The first quarter had ended with the Washington Mystics having 16 points compared to the Indiana Fever's 23 points. And if it wasn't for the likes of Sonia Citron, I put in obviously other players on the team, Kiki Era Finn, Jade Melbourne, Emily Inkster. She was blocking shots. She was giving it up. It was, I believe, even Aaliyah Boston. She blocked her shot. She blocked Sophie Cunningham and was like, "What's up?" I was like, okay, the Washington Mystics this team this season, they have made great improvements. I say the Washington Mystics and the Atlanta Dream this season, how they were in their standings and how they played last season, they have improved dramatically. I am thoroughly impressed. So in the first quarter of this game, the Mystics scored 16 points, Fever scored 23. The second quarter comes around, the Mystics scored 24. The Fever scored 22. The third quarter, the Mystics scored 22. Fever scored 19. And in the fourth and final quarter, the Mystics scored 26 points. The Fever scored just 20. And the Fever at first, specifically in that first and second quarter, again, the Washington Mystics didn't really have them. They kept getting tied back to back in the third quarter. But the Indiana Fever's defense on them, the first and second quarter, it was rough. They had to make those correct adjustments, both the coach and the individual players on the court. That's just something we don't see. We just don't see time and time again. Again, I got to bring it back to my Chicago Sky. They don't do things like this. That's why I'm like, it's just imperative that they actually watch this game and study it. Let's break down the individual player stat lines. Okay, let's start with the Fever. Lexi Hall had 7 points, 0 assists, 5 rebounds. Natasha Howard had 11 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound. Aaliyah Boston, she had 20 points. She almost had Sonia Citron, just by off 1 point. She had 1 assist, 9 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell had 14 points, 9 assists, 0 rebounds. Sophie Cunningham had 8 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. Odyssey Sims, again, this is her, I believe, her second game playing with the Fever. She put up 11 points, had 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Michaela Timpson had 3 points, 0 assists, 3 rebounds. She's getting better. Damaris Dantes had 10 points, 1 assist, and 2 rebounds. Now for the Mystics, Kiki Arafin had 18 points, 1 assist, 12 rebounds, a double-double. Sonia Citron had 21 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Stephanie Dawson had 9 points, 2 assists, 0 rebounds. This is just me. Since when is Stephanie Dawson actually cooking up? Her averages for like years being in the WNBA was like 2 to 3 points per game. I'm not even joking. These past few games, see, that's the beauty of Sydney Johnson. Why can't we have a coach like that? He is really bringing out like the best in these women. Silk Sutton had 13 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound. Jade Melbourne had 7 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Emily Inkster had 7 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds. Alicia Clark, okay, remember she didn't escape Seattle? Okay, she ran from the storm because her and Skylar Diggins, Skylar was set tripping on the gang. Okay, Alicia had 11 points, 0 assists, 4 rebounds. And Lucy Olsen had 2 points, 0 assists, 0 rebounds. And Madison Scott, she had 0 points, 1 assist, and 0 rebounds. I'm always happy to see the underdog win. Okay, I was happy. I'm glad that Washington Mystics got this dub. Okay, it seems as though the Indiana Fever, they're struggling. They struggling. They just got beat. Remember the other day? It was them versus the Phoenix Mercury. They lost by 35 points. They're on a somewhat of a losing streak here. It's like they're streaky, pretty much. Now look at the Seattle Storm, though. They just lost 6 games in a row. People saying, like, Coach Noel Quinn girl is over with. It's over with, but I ain't gonna lie. I can just put it up here right now. I'm gonna just tell you like this. When it comes to that finals, okay? I'm not saying, like, of course, the Fever is, like, ranked number, 5, number 6. They're gonna get into the playoffs. But they're gonna get into the playoffs. They're gonna get swept out of the playoffs. They're not going to the semifinals. They're not going to the finals, okay? Again, I'm trying to hit a parlay. I'm trying to put on some money. I'm gonna see, is it a way we can gamble here on YouTube? What if I made, like, a pot? Or we could, like, place bets? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. But listen, it's only 3 teams that come to mind when I think of the semifinals and the finals. That's, of course, Minnesota Lynx, the New York Liberty, and the Atlanta Dream. Dream is now ranked number 3 in this current 2025 WNBA season power rankings. Incredible. What a good coach will do for a team that can turn it around. But again, that's just my opinion, okay? Again, I'm not trying to be a Fever hater. I'm keeping it real. Okay, how could I possibly be a Fever hater? I said the same thing weeks ago. I was like, listen, my Chicago Sky, I love them down. Look what's on my feet. My Chicago Sky slides, okay? I love my Chicago Sky. I was like, we ain't making it into no playoffs. Oh, no, ma'am, no, sir. The Indiana Fever, of course, they'll make it into the playoffs, but it'll stop right there. They're not going to the semifinals. They're not going to the finals, okay? Call me what you want. Don't call me on speakerphone. It's getting late. I gotta wake up early. I'm gonna be so tired. Me and my family about to celebrate my aunt's birthday. It was this Thursday. We about to go out in the town. Tomorrow, I think my mom said between 10 a.m. and 2, her new refrigerator about to arrive. I gotta be here to like receive it and stuff. I gotta take out all this food in the refrigerator and freezer and do homework. And also the game tomorrow, guys. Minnesota Lynx. It's Minnesota versus who? Is it New York Liberty? I don't know, but I know it's only one game that comes on tomorrow, so I'm gonna watch that, and of course I will upload it for you guys. So again, guys, just like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And guys, tell me, okay, give me 4 teams. Who is your 4 top teams that could actually make it into the semifinals and finals? Comment down below.